Hey everybody, this is Nick Cuenca from thehyperloops.com, and I'm here to bring you a nice little unboxing. I know a lot of the peoples like this and some people don't, so if it's not your thing, then check out some of our strategy content. We just posted a video today about a new little lock combo that is sure to make everyone really upset. So if you're into that sort of thing, then check that out. Honestly Sarcastic posted that. But here's going to be a little fun. We've got a nice box here. I haven't even opened it yet. It's nice and sealed. You can see that plastic there. It's really it's quite sealed. I've already set the camera up to sort of be highlighting the cards as opposed to me. We did one of these last time, and people didn't like the fact that we were all just kind of talking and the cards weren't being the centerpiece. And I have learned my lesson, so we're going to be making the cards the centerpiece. I've just opened the box. The little tape there has that plasticky smell, which I actually don't like. I think it kind of makes me nauseous, but some people like that fresh pack smell. There's pack number 1. Oh, let's see it. I'm hoping for an error box with like 12 Throns and 12 lightsaber, ancient lightsabers. Alright, so first pack. Let's see here. We got a Bossk. Alright. And there's the die. After you activate this character, you may move 1 damage from an opponent's character to another character. His die is 1 plus 2 range, 3 melee, 1 disrupt, 1 resource. I think he's fine. I don't think he's that exciting, but who knows? Maybe he'll make his way into something good. I don't really. His ability sort of makes me think of wanting to use him with AOE effects, area effects, but I don't really think that there are very good ones for him in particular. And I think there's just better things you can do with villain. Yeah, he's villain and his cost is 1115, so I just think he's just kind of. We'll see if there's any nerfs, maybe. Alright, we opened another pack here. Let's see here. We opened a Ghost. Alright, first legendary. And let me try to get that in focus. It's not focusing, but that's fine. There we go. So yeah, Ghost has a really great die. It does cost 4, and it's unique. 2 range, 3 range, pay 1, 2 disrupt, 2 shields, 2 resources, and a special that says resolve another side of this die. Which is, yeah, it's cool. I think it'll be good in a Hera deck. Hera will be looking for vehicles. And the rare that we got was Port District. While you control the battlefield, each card you play that costs 3 or more has the ambush keyword. I think this card is going to be pretty good. I already have a deck in the works. Nothing completely fixed, but I'm testing it right now. I forgot the other rare, and the other rare that I had, I mean the uncommon rather, is Anarchy. Costs 3. It is villain. Remove 1 of your yellow dice and deal damage to each of an opponent's characters equal to the value showing on that die. Yeah, well, it's expensive and powerful. It may make a deck. It's interesting. It has this character, which actually has a 2 disrupt side, which you might want to use with her. But I'm not super excited about this card. It may make its way as a role player, but it won't make any archetypes, although there might be an archetype where you try to just do a bunch of damage from your hand and not really care about exactly what you roll. Alright, we got... Oh, I don't think this is a good one. Forget the name of this thing, but... The Energy Slingshot. Oh boy. Cost 1. Upgrade weapon. And yeah, 1 range, 1 range, 1 disrupt, 1 disrupt, 1 discard. After you resolve this die, you may spend a resource to reroll instead of removing from your pool. Yeah, it's not great. It does cost 1, and you can play multiple of them, so I'm not counting it out just yet. It is hero only. So yay! Heroes get this card. Woo! And let's see here, the uncommon is... While you control the battlefield, the cost of the first vehicle you play each round is decreased by 1. It is Weapons Factory Alpha. Wow, so the thing about this card is that it makes you want to have the battlefield in order to use the ability, but vehicles are notoriously slow and not good for being able to claim, so I think it's going to be basically a battlefield that is meant for decks that do have vehicles, obviously, but I don't think those decks will necessarily be the fastest, but maybe they will. I just think that the problem is that if you want a Hera deck, there's just seems like you want other options like Emperor's Throne Room. Alright, ooh, our second legendary, starting hot. Houndstooth. Cost 2. It is unique. After you activate the support, you may remove one of your yellow character dice to gain 1 resource. Alright, so it gives you a little bit of consistency. It's 1 disrupt, 1 shield, 3 shields for 1 resource, 2 resources for 1, and 4 resources for 2. There's a little sweet die there. That's the big money symbol right there. So, yeah, I see some people playing it in their Thruncar deck. I'm not exactly sure where it's going to land. That does seem like an interesting place for it. Alright, let's see here. And yeah, so that's 2 legendaries. Those are not the legendaries I would have chosen, so let's hope we get some better stuff. Alright, ooh, Darth Vader's Advanced TIE Fighter. So this card is thematically sweet. I don't know how good it's going to be. It costs 4. Yeah, there's a little sweet die there. Spend 2 resources to deal damage to a character equal to the damage on it. So yeah, that does have the potential to do a lot of damage, but it only has 1 special. Yeah, not super excited about it. Ho ho, our rare though is a card that people are going to love to hate, and that is Running Interference. It costs 0, it's a support for heroes, so yay, heroes get something potentially busted. After taking action, you may exhaust support to choose an opponent. That opponent cannot take the same action that you just took on their next turn, so if you have 2 of these out, you can stop them from playing a card from their hand and from activating the character. So they need to have a very specific kind of action. And a lot of decks won't have that, so you'll just basically, they'll pass and then you can do whatever you want. Then you can pass if you're going first. Then you will have what it is called the lock. They may do something about that. It's not going to be fun for people. Alright, this is the die. Let's just open here. And, ooh, oh yeah. Natural Pilot cost 4. Modifier 2 range, modifier 3 range, 2 focus, 2 disrupt, 2 shields. After you activate attached character. After you activate character, you may ready a vehicle. Wow, this card is, yeah, it's kind of, seems like it's hot garbage. Because you need to have a vehicle out, which are expensive, and they need to have this 4 cost upgrade, which is very expensive. Yeah, I don't know, I can do something better with my life, I think. And our rare is Take Prisoner. Cost 1. Choose an opponent. Discard 2 random cards from that opponent's hand for each defeated character they have. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a good late game card. You'll definitely be able to get a 2-for-1 in the late game, and if they're playing a 3 character deck, you'll be able to do a 4-for-1, and that's pretty crazy. So if there is a villain deck that wants access to discard and linking. It definitely seems like a real thing. Oh ho! Trolly Von Trollerson there. Let's see here, we got that's Rookie Pilot. I already knew him from his die. He is cheap, so he will be playable because he's cheap. +2 range, +2 range, 1 shield, 1 resource, blank blank. Cost 7 health. After you activate this character, you may reroll one of your vehicle dice. Yeah, so I think this will be a nice pairing for Hera. And I think aside from that, I don't really see a great place for him. Our uncommon is Hidden Agenda. And it says, 1, it's an action. Play an event from your hand, decreasing its cost by 2. Discard this upgrade from play. So yeah, this card is interesting. It does something that a lot of other cards have not been able to do, because it will let you play an event through the card. It does help you resource-wise, subtracts 1, but it's super specific. I don't know. I feel like I'm not super high on this card. Maybe if there's something really busted that you can play for, you can like set it up for a turn, and then you're just like boom. It is neutral, so it does fit into a lot of things. So we will see. I'm gonna take a little sip of water here. I'm trying to bang this out here. Oh, I got more packs to do. All right. We got, oh, I wonder what that is. I already know what it is. It's Wookiee Warriors. So 10 HP, costs 9. It's 2 melee for 1, 3 melee for 1, 1 discard, 1 shield, 1 resource, blank. Just flavor text. It's not wise up, said Wookiee. It's true, very true. From my own experience, that's true. Yeah, it's good rate. Health to cost. Where it will go exactly, I'm not sure. Currently, the format just seems to have a lot of like degenerate things, and since it's a fair character, it costing resources in order to use its die. The 3-for-1 is nice. 2-for-1 is generally not good. So, I mean, it can be good, but I'm not like ooh 2-for-1. So yeah, I don't think this card will be good, but maybe I'll be proven wrong. It is good with second chance, so never count out a second chance yellow character, especially one with that 10 health. This is the uncommon. Cost 2, Imperial Backing Ambush. Play support from your hand, decreasing its cost by 1 for each character you have. Ooh, it's a card made for Huxley. And I think that's pretty much what the card's meant for. It's villain only. I like that it has ambush, so it kind of gives you by surprise. Ooh, we opened a packy. And see what we got. And boom, got a Hera. Yes, it's definitely a card I want in my life. Hera costs 10. Costs 9 or 12 for elite. 10 health. 1 range, 1 focus, 1 shield, 1 resource, special, and a blank. And the special is all we want her. Play a vehicle from your hand for free after the action phase ends. If that vehicle is still in play, return it to your hand. So you can just cheat in a big die pretty much for free. Just cost her action, her special. So we're gonna have some Hera Maz Rookie Pilot decks I foresee in our future. So I'm very excited I got that. That's awesome. And our uncommon is Something Familiar. Spot 2 blue characters, reveal a random card from opponent's hand that you may return a number of dice equal to or less than that card's cost to the sides of your choice. Yeah, it's so random. No, I don't love it. But Hera, man, whoa. Very excited for oh, this is the pack right here. This is the Thrawn pack, or the Ancient Lightsaber pack, I have a feeling. Alright, let's see it. I don't think it's yellow. Ooh, what is it? It is. Ooh, it's something. I don't recognize it, so that's not super exciting. There seems to be a lot of random yellow garbage in the set. Ooh, cable launcher. I actually don't think this part's terrible. It costs 2, has 1 disrupt, 1 discard, 1 resource, and 2 specials and a blank. Yellow character only. Special is choose a character, remove 1 of its character dice, or spend 1 resource to remove 2 of its character dice. So that's, wow, it's very powerful being able to remove 2 character dice from, say, a Vader. Like, how do they win the game if they can't resolve the character dice? So I think this card's actually interesting. It's very interesting. It's very powerful. It does have a resource side, which is great. Card it reminds me of Force Throw a lot, and that card's awesome. And it cost 1 less. And we got Fort Annexes from Annexes. While you control the battlefield, each of your characters have the Guardian keyword. So this card's really interesting because it gives your characters Guardian keyword. Those decks generally don't claim quickly. So yeah, that's really weird. I don't know what to say about that. Alright, we got ooh, that's a good one. It's definitely a card I want in my life. That's Hot Magma. Oh, it's Magna, not Magma. Hot Magna. Magna Guard. 1 lightsaber. A 2 lightsaber for 1. 2 stick for 1. 1 shield, 1 resource, 1 blank. It has 8 health. Before this character would be defeated by damage, instead defeated after this round ends. My god. That's just crazy. Yeah, so I think this is a card that will definitely be viable as a pairing with Mr. Vader, Sith Lord. And I actually think that it might be good with Huxley. Being able to have this paired with Huxley and a First Order Stormtrooper. That gives you 3 characters, and 2 of them are characters that can be brought back with endless ranks. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to try that out in that deck. Not as excited to try it out in the Vader deck because I think some other people will do that. That seems too obviously good for me. This is I love this picture. It costs 2. Commandeer. It's an event. Resolve an opponent's vehicle die as if it were your own. If that die has a resource cost, you do not have to pay it. Wow. So yeah, I think this card has a lot of potential. Oh, it's vehicle only. Oh no, screw this card. This card's terrible. I thought it was any die. I was like, ooh, that card's sexy, but no, no, just vehicle die. Get it out of here. It's gotta be a very specific metagame. Ooh, oh yeah! Kanan, my homeboy. I'm very excited about Kanan. I heart the mono blue heroes. And Kanan says, for those who are not hip to what he says, he costs 1013, which is really cheap for 10 health, 1 range, 2 melee, 1 focus, 1 disrupt, 1 resource, a blank. He says, before you take an action, you may resolve 1 of this die, which is, it's similar. It's the same wording as Palpatine, but since it's now on another card, it just seems bad. They should just make it just say specifically character die, because I think a lot of people might think that, I don't know, could be maybe dice that he's upgraded with, because he does have those dice on him. So, but anyways, that's a little tangent. I think this card will be good for sure. The focus is particularly exciting with his ability, because once your opponent does something and then it's your turn, you'd be like, oh, before I take an action, I will focus, and then I will deal you a bunch of damage, because that's how I roll. And then we have this Keen Instincts, cost 0. Upgrade ability. Blue character only, remove 1 of attached character's character dice to give it a shield. So this card is probably hot garbage, but the thing, it is a upgrade that costs 0, and I'm currently working on a Power of the Force deck, and this card might make it in just because it's a 0 upgrade and it powers that up by 1 and can do some pretty, that could be pretty explosive. And also the shield is good for riposte, which is also a very, very good card. So we'll see. Probably not good though. All right. Ooh, we got the cards. Ooh. Let's see what those cards are. It is a chance cube. This card is, it costs 0. Upgrade equipment. 1 resource, 2 resource, 3 resource, blank, 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 blank. Before you activate attached character, return this upgrade to your hand unless you spend 1 resource. So this is, I think this is going to be very, so it's, you don't even know, you don't even see what you rolled in before you actually decide to spend the resource. So you can just roll blank and spend 1 and not do anything. I could see it with some cards that you feel out of focus, and you can focus to a 3, and that's a net gain of 2, which is cool. But I don't know, it's neutral, so a lot of decks could play it. So maybe it has a home. It's very niche. Let's see what we got here. Get the ball rolling. Faint. Oh yeah, this card's good. Costs 1. Activate one of your characters, then you may remove all of its character dice, upgrade dice to ready it. So this combos really well with Thrawn. It combos really well with potentially with Vader also. You can make him discard a card. If you didn't like your roll, you just get to re-roll it again and they got to discard a card. So any kind of a character that has a sweet activated ability, you'll get extra mileage because you'll see whether or not it was good, and if your roll was bad, you can have the chance to do it. Or sometimes you just want that. You want that extra ability because it stacks so well. Boom. Let's see here. We've got the Electro Staff, because that card's cool. Alright. Let's see here. Yeah, Electro Staff. I like that. I like the look of that guy. Alright, so it costs 2 Electro Staff. Modifier 1 melee, modifier 2 melee, modifier 3 melee, 1 disrupt, 1 shield, blank. The resource cost of attached character dice modified by this die is decreased by 1. So it makes things cheaper for your character. So you'll be able to, if you have your Wookiee warriors or your Magna Guard, you'll be able to resolve those sides for free, which is sweet. And the die is pretty good. Only for the melee people. This is the uncommon. Endurance costs 1. Play only if you have 1 or more dice removed during an opponent's last turn this round. Roll one of those removed dice into your pool. So this card's really good with Palpatine. Potentially good with Vader, but Palpatine is really, this card definitely goes into any Palpatine deck you're going to be building from now on. But unfortunately, New Kylo may have something to say about your Palpatine dreams, because it's just going to be brutal. Taking 2 every turn from the new Kylo ability. All right. Oh, I don't know what that is, so I'm scared. I'm so scared. What is this card? Oh God, coordinate. All right, hero. Yay! Look at these broken cards. Coordination. 1 focus, 1 focus, 1 resource. Special, blank. Give each of your characters 1 shield. Oh God, I don't even know if you... I guess you would play this if this cost 1. It would be interesting, but for 2, it's just, wow, it's just expensive. I can do way better for 2 resources. Methinks. Oh yeah, this card played against someone playing this card and they wrecked me. Turn each of an opponent's dice showing a blank to any side, then resolve any number of those dice in order of your choice, as if they were your own. My goodness, this card is can just be a beating. even if they rolled a blank with like a Vader die, you're still gonna 3 them with this. And that's like that's like an okay-ish rate, but man, the upside is insane. I definitely, any villain deck any blue villain deck, I'm definitely gonna play 1 as the Miser's copy. Just hope to get lucky, and sometimes you will just, I think that will take the spot of the he doesn't like you, because he doesn't like you. While cool, it really wasn't very sexy. I mean, sometimes you would just hit it for 1, and I don't know, just the upside is so much bigger. Alright, whoa, look at this card. Oh yay, heroes, tough haggler. 2 disrupt, 1 resource, plus 2 resource, special. Cost 3, still expensive. Look at an opponent's hand and choose 2 cards in it, then discard those cards unless that opponent spends 2 resources. So if you're able to choke them out, get rid of their resources, then I think you can make them discard 2 cards, and I think the hero is having a hard time doing that. So maybe this card will make a discard deck happen, which would be cool, because Heroes didn't have that after the nerf. Oh, and this card's sweet. I love this card so much. Cost 0, Reaping the Crystal. Play a blue card that costs 3 or more from your hand, decreasing its cost by 1. So this is great with lightsabers, all forms of lightsabers, with power, 1 with the Force, and also the new card, I'm blanking on the name, with the title that has Mace Windu on it. Cost 4, cost you 3. It has potential with that battlefield that makes things with 3 or more cost have ambush and ray, so all your things will have ambush and you'll be able to do 2 actions, and that seems really sweet. And I just like cards that give you resources for a specific thing that you're doing. So a lot of decks that are trying to do different things will have access to that. Alright, here's a blue card. I don't know what it does. What is this one? Oh, yeah. We broke it, guys. Psychometry. 1 focus, 2 disrupt. 1 resource. Special blank. Blue character only. Draw cards equal to the value showing on an equipment or weapon die. You may remove that die. Okay, so this card is slightly interesting. It's like Force Throw, except you draw cards instead of dealing damage. And it only does equipment or weapons. So it's super specific in regards to that. So I don't think it'll be as good as Force Throw. But the die, I think, okay, so if you didn't take into account the special, the die is better because you have a resource and a focus instead of, a damage and 1 disrupt. So I don't know. It's interesting, but probably not. Not really rushing out to go play it in any deck that I think of right now. I'll go ahead and the rest are fun. 1, remove any number of shields from your characters and discard cards from the top of discard the top of the opponent's deck equal to the number of shields you just removed. So if you have 3 characters and 3 shields on each of them, mill you for 9. Welcome to Magic Christmas Land. Probably not gonna happen. Let's see what other goodies we have here. Alright, come on. What do we got? Ooh. Oh, we got a legendary. It is K2SO. K2SO. Yeah, costs 15, 20. 2 melee, 3 melee, 1 discard, 2 shield, 1 resource, blank. The cost to play a weapon on this character is increased by 2 after you play or move a weapon onto this character for the first time each game. Ready him. Why does she get a blaster and I don't? Finally he gets that blaster. He's very excited about it. This card is interesting with It's a Trap. And that's solely the thing that I really want to do with him, because before It's a Traps didn't have any way to match up well with melee decks. But I'm envisioning a deck where you play K2SO and your other character is also red, maybe Commando, just because that gives you a lot of health. And then all of your other things are weapons, and then I don't really care about the ability as much as other people do. I'm not really trying to like I'm not trying to mess around with that ability as much. I'm not trying to go broken. Maybe I should be. But the issue is, so you can put abilities and non-weapons on him that won't cost anything. And then maybe the last thing, you put 2 things on him, and then you put the last thing on him. You could also do something where you do K2SO and maybe Poe, like single die K2SO and Poe, like the new Poe. And thinking about that's kind of interesting. It gives your opponent a real question about who they want to attack. So maybe that's worth looking into. Fall back. Cost 4. My goodness. Each player may choose 1 upgrade. Starting with you, discard all upgrades from play that were not chosen. So this is sort of like a good hate card for decks that try to load up on upgrades, and I do love decks like that. It is expensive, but if you ever get 2 if your opponent goes full on, this is pretty good against FN decks because they'll have 3 upgrades on them, and you'll be like, oh sorry, get rid of 2 of those, thanks. It's expensive, but powerful. So I could see getting wrecked by that card. I'm going to highlight this common because it is going to be everywhere at the beginning of the format. Discard a support or upgrade that costs 0 from play for 0 rend. Yeah, with that combo being discovered and Imperial Inspection in the format and Holocron and Force Speeds, Fast Hands is a support. My god, there's just so much you can, so many targets, and it's so good. It just goes into any deck. Not necessarily that it should go, it just could. So people will just play it because it is a good card, I think. Alright, we got a blue card. Character, Jedi Instructor, great. I did want one of these, so I'm happy I got it. Had 9 health for 8, so haha, Jedi Alkalite. The die is not great. It's 1 range, 1 melee, 1 focus, 1 shield, 1 resource, blank. But it does let you fix a die. After you activate this character, you may turn one of your character dice to a side showing the same symbol as this die. Okay, so since it's blue, we want to be hitting that melee a lot. Hitting a focus is pretty cool, and hitting resources. So half the die is pretty interesting. So 50% of the time, you can fix to something that would be useful. The focus isn't great because you're already kind of focusing. I don't know, hitting the melee is like interesting. Obviously the best part. So I'm definitely trying this guy. Mono blue heroes for life. And the uncommon I received was Pilfered Goods. 5 cost, villain only. You may play an upgrade from your hand for free for each of your yellow characters. It is an event. Wow, so expensive. If it was... yeah, if it was neutral, it could open up some deck building. It's yellow character only, super specific, highlighting a common that will be everywhere, or in my mind, it'll be in a lot of my decks. 0. Lightsaber pull. Spot a blue character. Search your deck for a blue weapon. Reveal it. Add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. Boom. Card is sweet. Remember, it's spot only. You have to spot a blue, so don't try to play it when your blue character has perished. And yeah, it just lets you get something for the cost that you have. It lets you play like the legendary sabers and grab them for the situations that are good. Got a red die with 2 range. Oh, I think this is the hero F11D equivalent. Yep, that's what it is. Costs 2. A280 blaster rifle. 2 for 1. +1. +2. 1 resource. Special. Redeploy. special is give 2 shields to your characters, distribute as they wish. Distribute as you wish. Yeah, I mean, it's not super exciting. It's not terrible. It's kind of meh. I don't know. It's just I think that earlier on it would have been a playable card, but the card pool's so much bigger now. Here is Drop Zone as our uncommon. After you claim the battlefield, you may place 1 damage on the support. Action: exhaust the support to move any number of damage from it to a character. This ignores shields. Wow, so this is very interesting. And I think about there's that support, that docking bay, I want to say it's called. It lets you play a support for free that or might let you reduce the cost of a support by 1. I don't know if you'd actually be able to. It says after you claim, so you've claimed, it puts it into play, and now you're like, oh, you're after the claim, you can do it. So I think it works that way, and if it does, then that's slightly real. Being able to get like free damage from a battlefield that a lot of people will not be able to use is pretty sweet. All right, we gotta come on, pack. Ooh, that's the villain. The villain. This guy, I don't know his name. What is his name? Servant of the Dark Side. 1 melee, a 3-for-1 melee, which is pretty sweet. 1 focus, 1 shield, and 1 resource and a blank. Before one of your other blue characters is defeated, you may move an upgrade from it to this character. Turn that upgrade's die to its card. Oh man, 7 health is just so little. You have to be really good. It does have that 3-for-1, which hits hard for sure. Nothing comes to mind. Issue being that villains, they have Vader, and I think Vader has better pairings. Since it's other blue characters, then it has to be heavy blue. Maybe there's some type of it's gotta be like a 3-character deck that wants to use this bad boy. Nothing really jumps to mind. Part of the issue is I don't really know what other. I can't think of blue pairings. There's gotta be 22, so you can do 8, and you can do maybe an Unkerplut and a 10 cost blue character. I don't know. It's just or a 9 cost blue character. It's just I don't know what you're. It's obviously an offensive melee deck, but that's like the Vader decks, right? I just don't think it has a home. But I could be wrong. All right, let's go to the uncommon. It is Double Cross. Oh no, Lando, what'd you do to us? Remove 1 of your yellow character dice to resolve an opponent's die as if it were your own. That is pretty cool. I actually think I really like this card because I think it's a card that's really hard to play around, especially if you can go first. Roll it out, they roll into you, and they show a 3 or whatever, and you're just like, oh, I rolled crappy with this die, let me just remove that, and then boom. Oh, speaking of Lando, they were together. This is it's Lando Calrissian. So this guy's super interesting. He has 11 health, which is good. 1 range, 1 focus, a 2-for-1 discard, a 1, and a 3-for-1 resource. You start the game with an additional resource. So you start with 3 automatically. Yeah, I don't know what to think about him. I think that you probably want to play him at 13. And then from there, what could you do? It's just you could do him, and doing 4-die teams with him, you're pretty limited. You have to do him and Ezra. And yeah, Ezra's really weak. And if you put a 2-die Ezra with a Lando and then something else for 7, Oh yeah, is that? Oh, I can't. Yeah, you have to do something 7, so it has to be rookie pilot. So I don't know. I think you're probably better off just trying to do 13 and then 17, and a 17 character that has really big. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be hard to find a home for him, but it's super interesting. The fact that you get an additional resource, and I think that's good on flavor. So, all right. So this is drop your weapon. Cost 2. Spot 2 red characters. Discard a weapon from a ready character. I feel like this seems kind of like FN hate. uh, maybe they want people to do this. Cost 2. That's a lot. It's just another card that's very specific to metagame. Not super excited about it, but might be useful. I do want to highlight the worst art in the entire set. Lando Calrissian just looking like Gumby. And he has like some crazy space pig. I don't even know what the hell that is. Oh my god. What were they thinking? Alright, there's a blue die. Can you tell what it is? I can't, so that's not good. Let's see here. Oh, actually, this card's interesting at least. It has a cool picture. Temptation costs 1. So things that cost 1, I never rule them out. It's very cheap. 1 disrupt, 1 discard. 2 specials, 2 blanks. Choose an opponent. That opponent may draw 2 cards. If they do, you gain 2 resources. If they do not, you draw 2 cards. So it has that Punisher mechanic, which lets your opponent choose. And yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. That opponent may draw 2 cards. If they do, you gain 2 resources. If they do not, you draw 2 cards. So at worst, you draw 2 cards, or you gain 2 resources. So early on, you're probably just going to be drawing a bunch of cards, which not necessarily the worst. This seems like a card you might want to try and quit the Quinlan deck. Not sure how good Quinlan will be, but hey, you never know. And this is our uncommon Rally 8. Exhaust support to reveal a random card in your hand. You may play that card, decreasing its cost by 1 or 2 instead if it's a vehicle. I think since it's a hero card, could be going with Hera. I think you'll see this in Hera decks. I think it's very powerful. You can keep doing it over and over again. It's slow, but man, the value. Just think of the value. It already pays for itself the first time. And gains 1 if you hit the vehicle. So it's like the last card. Oh god. Our legendaries have not been kind. None of the big boom booms. Let's see here, we got Grand Inquisitor. 2 melee, 3 for 1 melee, 2 focus, 1 resource, 1 special blank. Remove a character die showing a blank. Then deal 2 damage to that character. Oh yeah, I don't know about this card. I don't know about this card at all. It's just it just seems like if you're doing big characters, there's just better big characters. Because you can't do 3 die. You can't do 3 characters, 4 dies with him. Yeah, no, you can't. So yeah, that's I don't think it's good. It's unfortunate. My legendary. Oh, fearless. Upgrade ability after you activate attached character. You may give it 1 shield and draw a card. So yeah, about this card, people have been talking about it, sort of talking it up a little bit, and I just want to remind people that the card Jedi Robes exist. And if that's the first card that you play, it gives you 2 shields automatically, right? And it gives you a die, which I think is really valuable. And do you really want to be keeping Fearless for the rest of the game? It's kind of cool with Rey. All right, let's see this pack here. Oh, we got a not interrogation droid, probe droid. That's sweet. Cost 1. It has ambush, which is interesting. 1 disrupt, 1 resource, special, blank. No, it doesn't even have the 2 specials. Come on, man, you're killing me over here. Look at ambush. Look at 2 random cards in an opponent's hand and discard any of those cards that are events. So it's exactly like the probe card, except that it's on a character. I mean a droid. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Might be good in a mill deck. Not gonna hold my breath. Garrow Spaceport. Remove one of your dice to gain resources equal to half the value showing on that die rounded up. Yeah, I don't know. This card is interesting. It might be sort of a kind of dummy-ish battlefield that if you have a lot of high sides that don't necessarily like if you have this with like Lando, for example, you can then resolve the 3-for-1 if you have no resources and get 2 resources, which is the same thing as resolving the Lando die. And a lot of people might be okay with that. What else? Let's see. Come on, baby, you gotta give me those goods. About this box, I'm hurting. I'm hurting over here. I think we got all our legendaries. Oh Lord, Lord help us. Alright, let's see here. Ooh. Alright, let's see what this thing is. It's got 2 guns. I think this is the ship. Oh no, it's not. It's not the ship. What else? Scatter Blaster. Alright, we're going a bit long here. So, Scatter Blaster. What does Scatter Blaster do? It deals 1 damage each for different characters for 1 special. Has a 2 base, +3, sorry, I'm just dealing with an issue here. Technical difficulties. It has an action. Remove 1 of attached character's character dice. Turn this die to any side. Well, that is... Yeah, I mean... It costs 3. It doesn't have redeploy. Not excited about it. It's hero only. Oh no, it's neutral. Okay, so I don't even play it. Alright, we're gonna run through these pretty quickly. We're running long here. Medical Center. Heal 1 damage each from 2 different characters. Give control of the battlefield to an opponent. Whoa. Yeah, I don't really... I guess if you don't care about having the battlefield, but you're kind of fast, it's it's interesting. If you expect to play against a lot of battlefields, against a lot of decks that want to claim and have claim cards, it's kind of dummy-ish. I don't know. It might be good for like a mill deck where you're just trying to save damage, but it's only heal 1 damage each to 2 different characters. So, I mean, it might be good against sort of thermal detonation kind of situations. Let's see here. Boom. Oh yeah, here's the vehicle. Speak of the devil. So I think this card's cool. I'm glad that I opened it. It's interesting. It costs 2. This is the kind of vehicle that I'm into. It costs 2. You can play it on turn 1. 2 damage sides. It's hard to interact with, so it's gonna just stay, it's gonna give you value for the rest of the game. I love value. Yeah. And I'll say exhaust support to draw 2 cards. Exhaust support or draw 2 cards. So yeah, you can exhaust your opponent's supports if they're playing support decks, or you can draw 2 cards. And hey, I like drawing cards. Who doesn't like drawing cards? Alright, we got a Repate. We got Endurance, which Plate and Palpatine. Let's see. Nothing to highlight from the commons. So yeah, this box has not been kind to me, I don't think. Ooh, ho, 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 the very powerful EMP grenades. The P grenades is what I'm going to call them because they're disgusting. Disgustingly bad. It's just cost 2. I guess costing 2 is okay. 1 disrupt, 2 disrupt, 2 discard for 1, 1 resource, 1 special blank. Special is discard droid or vehicle from play, discards upgrade from play. Oh, you're killing me, man. How am I going to put this in my deck? There's got to be some super powerful vehicles. that are going to stay in play for me to want this card. Not sold. Get it together. But I do actually really like this card. Hate. This is a very aggressive deck. Redeploy. After you activate attached character, you may deal one damage to another character. So yeah, for one, you're just going to be doing 1 damage, and you're going to do 1 damage to your other guy. So I think it might be interesting in sort of a very grindy deck where you're maybe playing endless ranks, maybe with blue. That could be cool. It's slow, but hey, you know what? I like value. I'm into exploring value options. Alright, we got, what is this card? Is this the weapons cache? Yeah, weapons cache. +2, focus, 1 resource. 2 specials, 1 blank. Specialist, play a weapon from your hand, increasing its cost by 2. It costs 2. So it does have 2 specials. Yeah, I don't know about this card. It's not great. I mean, if I'm playing weapons, don't I want to play them on turn 1? And the thing is, if you whiff, then that's going to feel really bad. So I think you might want to have... It seems like a guy like Balatik might be good for this, because then, you know, you have a 33% chance to hit the special the first time, and then you have Balatik's focus. So that seems interesting. And he has gun size that can match up, so I think this is probably a fine card to try with a Balatik deck. Try, operative word. I don't know if it'll be good. Here's some more packs. We got, what did we get here? Ooh. Oh, is that a Y-Wing? That's a Y-Wing. Yeah, that's alright. Y-Wing is interesting. Hero only. 2 range, 2 disrupt, special, 2 blanks. Special is force an opponent to deal damage to their characters, distribute as they wish, or lose resources until they have dealt and lost a combination of 4. Alright, so yeah, this card is interesting. 4 is a big number, and obviously the earlier the better for this card. You get a lot of mileage for activating it a bunch. Might be good in a hero deck. Definitely not the kind of card you want to throw with Poe. So yeah, I'm interested in trying it. It's interesting. It's just very different than most cards. It's so kind of bad because it's kind of inconsistent. But hey, maybe. This is Yoda's Quarters. Unique. 3 exhaustive support and remove 1 of your character dice to heal 2 damage from that character. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this card. I think that it might be good in a mill deck that you want to stall out. And I think besides that, you don't really want it. Ooh, what is this card? It's got a 3-for-1. That's interesting. Probably cost a bunch. I'm gonna go with it cost 3. Yep. Nailed it. Cost 3, it is neutral. So hey, anyone can play it. It has a 2, a 3-for-1, a 3-for-1, a resource, 2 blanks. Before this die deals damage to a character, you may remove all shields from that character. So this card's actually kind of interesting for heroes. They have such a bad time dealing with shields. So I think that that's an application that shouldn't be underestimated. Alright. And, oh, this card's cool. Reckless Reentry. Choose a die on one of your vehicles in play and roll it into your pool. Then discard that vehicle if it's just die that you just roll in. So this is tailor-made for kind of a hero deck. You want to use dies that don't have blanks, like Millennium Falcon and Ghost. So that's interesting. That's definitely a good uncommon to have. Alright. We got some training, not training, training remote. Good against the remotes, not the same as good against the living. Yeah, this card's super slow. Cost the 2-for-1 pay is just, it's not good enough. I don't know, I don't think this card's good enough. But hey, I'm gonna try it. It does give you an insane amount of value, but it's only blue dice. That's the kicker. So it has to be mono blue. Does resolve anything you want, and it's somewhat consistent 50% of the time. I just don't think that early on you're gonna want to pay. You're definitely not going to want to mess up your development to pay for this. And then later in the game, it's kind of slow at like dealing the finishing blow. Alright, when you control the battlefield after you activate a support, you may reroll its die. Okay. I think this card's actually kind of interesting in certain decks because it won't help most decks. But the decks that it will help is sort of like a marginal value. And it is, let's see here, is it, you activate a support, you may remove. So it's any, so if you're activating supports like crazy, you could just, man, get some consistency. So it's interesting. It also won't help your opponents that much. So if they give it to you, it might help you enough. Oh god. Oh, this box is killing me. So this is our legendary. Man, we're really running hot here. Grand Inquisitor's lightsaber. Cost 4. It's not the worst. It has a 3 for 1, and a 3 and a 2 shield, and then a special and a blank. Blue character only. Turn a character die to a side, showing a blank. Reroll this die instead of removing it from your pool. So, wow, it's just so expensive. Just, what am I doing for 4 resources? Blue only? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, viewing public. You've been great. Good luck. So this is our uncommon. It's his yellow villain. For 1, spot a yellow character, reveal an opponent's hand, and choose an event in it. They must play that event as their next action, if able. So we've actually had a big debate in the comments, and as of right now, I don't really know what the answer is, but apparently a lot of people think that you can pass instead of playing the card, since passing is not an action. So if that's possible, then this card is much worse. And even if you're sort of forced to play a card, a lot of times they won't know what's in your hand. It will be a marginal effect, and it's just, I don't know. It just seems, I'm not super impressed with it. Even if you have to, are forced to action. But I think I'm one of the few people who thinks this card's not as. I think the hype is not real on this card. Opinion me, but I could be wrong. All right, we got General Riken Duder. Oh man, let's see here. General Riken. He is off. Defensive mastermind. So he plays defense. A 1, a 2, a 1, a 2, and a 1. I'm not even gonna bother reading them. No, I'm just kidding. Focus, 2 focus, 1 shield, 2 shield, 1 blank, 1 resource blank. After you activate this character, you may discard a card from the top of your opponent's deck for each of the other shields. For each character with 1 or more shields. So they're definitely trying to move you in a specific shield mill deck. I'm not sure if that's going to be good, but you know what? Hey, try it out. Maybe it is. It doesn't really call to me though. This is the uncommon. Cost 2. Twin Shadows. Spot 2 characters with the same title to remove up to 2 dice. So it's interesting because there aren't that many title cards. So I think this is a card that will get better the longer the game goes. But it is very powerful. So if you're able to get cheap, it's like a mid-game sort of big. They roll in, and you're like, all right, take 2 your dice. So the upside is there. Whether or not you want to build your deck around it, probably not. All right, so here's the last pack, guys. If you're watching, blow on it, please. I haven't counted, but I think that our legendaries are dead. Man. Oh, last legendary Cad Bane. Thank God. Just saving the day. Cad Bane is actually a good legendary. Alright. That's exciting. Let's talk about Cad Bane as our last card. Really just saving the day here. Cad Bane saving the day. Vicious Mercenary. 2 range, a 3-for-1 range, a 2-for-1 discard, a shield, a resource, and a blank. 2 health, 12 health, sorry, not 2 health. It'd be terrible to health. Action. Play an upgrade from your hand on this character, paying its cost. Then you may activate him. So he single-handedly gets around that combo deck we were discussing. And so that's +1 for him in regards to that. He does some great action cheating. There are a lot of there are multiple ambush range weapons now for 2. I believe there's 3 now. So turn 1 you can play it, boom, resolve for 2. Now the 3-for-1, excuse me, 3-for-1 is probably more of a late game thing because that seems like the play pattern you want to be going is playing an ambush with his action ability. But hey, you know, in the late game, if you do that, boom, deal 3 whatever ridiculous amount. He's kind of like a super Django. Like he's better than Django just because his die sides are beefier and his big side is beefy, and it'll be good with. You could pair this with the new Phasma, the starter Phasma, and that's a lot of hurt. It also had, you can play this the card Bait and Switch, and that's exciting because that lets you get a 3-for-1 when you want it, or a 2. And also with Phasma you get the special, which could be a 3 or a 2. So yeah, super exciting. I'm definitely glad I opened this card. It really saved the box. Oh lord. Alright, so here's the last uncommon, Detention Center. It is a 3-cost support. Action. Exhaust the support to remove a character die. Then any player may remove one of their character dice to discard the support from play. So it's interesting because the ability to remove it is remove this support is sort of contingent on them having another character die when you use it. So you can actually choose when you use it, and they need to have a very specific sort of situation. And it might be so a lot of times if you're playing against a big character and you have this out, they'll be forced to roll their little character in first because they don't want to lose 2 character dice. And if you get if you're able to make them remove a die, make them resolve a die, and then you're just like, all right, before you can re-roll that, remove that die, boom. And it has to remove a character die, which is really important. So, you know, I don't know. This card is expensive for sure. Any deck can play it because any villain deck can play it. So it's an intriguing card for sure, I think, because you can wait until they have 1 character die left and remove it. And the fact that if you say they roll a Vader and they roll 3 sticks, if they roll stick 3/3, you could be like, okay, tap it. Do you want to remove that 3? All right, I saved 2, and maybe I invested in this earlier, and now it's your action. And that's not necessarily the best case scenario, but that's one of them. It probably will be too expensive. It's definitely a card that's unique at what it does because there haven't been cards like this where it supports that remove dice. And the fact that they have to have a character die out to discard it, you might get multiple uses out of it depending on how the turns go. So there you have it, folks. I hope that you enjoyed this. I'm sorry that the box sucked, and I hope maybe next time, I hope your pulls are better than mine. And if you like this or you like our channel, please like and subscribe below. Yeah, we We have a Patreon too, but I'm not going to push that too much. If you're interested in competitive Star Wars Destiny content, there'll be a link below in the description. So yeah, hopefully your pulls are better, and may the pulls be with you.